All right, so we've got some treated 4x4x8s. We're gonna back the shipping container right in here and place it right down on top of these. And these are gonna be kind of a temporary support. Obviously you don't want a container on the ground because it'll wick water up and it'll rust and all the bad things will happen to it. I'm really hoping they don't get freaked out about the quality of the road in here because we're in the middle of nowhere. Home base is just gonna be kind of our little camper that we can chill in while we work on the property. So, the Ritz. Well, here it is, the new workshop. It's gonna be tight. That guy was cool because that was a very tight fit down that road. That thing costs $1.68. It's just a joist hanger. And the shipping container guy, he designed one that fits like up against there, and it'll hold your cross member, but it'll also hold your vertical, your wall stud, which is cool. But those things cost like, I don't know, $13 a piece. Go do this if you want something cheap. Anyways, this is just temporary. It's just gonna be to install a shop light. So this is all temporary. I've got a line running in from the generator, coming up to this light, and then daisy chaining out of that. Comes up to this light, and then daisy chains over to that corner. This is all just super temporary. I still haven't organized everything in here. There's gonna be, so my CNC table is actually gonna go right here. That's gonna leave me with like that much walking space the whole way down. I have a ultrasonic cleaner we're gonna use to get the carburetor fixed on that. And that'll put out a lot more power than the little Honda that's running out here right now. We're also going to be putting on an entire solar array on the roof. So yeah, we are on our way to becoming completely off-grid. I'll put the kit on the screen here, but this was a package sent to us by SunGold, and this is going to be the heart of our new off-grid workshop. All right, so there it is. That's the kit. We're going to get it loaded into Vanjie and headed out to the workshop. Definitely winter. Oh my God, they're so heavy. Wow. Should not be lifting that alone. All right, so we just got everything dropped off, and it's gonna be a little bit before we get that installed because it's snowing out pretty heavily right now. Yeah, the road out here, it's a 2-track, and it's winter now too. And Vanjie is, see the windows fogging up? Vanjie needs a heater core. I've been steaming all over the windows for like the last week. Yeah, we need to get that fixed soon, so that's gonna be a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh. There's a 101-pound battery right here. I took these out of the shipping container because it's getting really cold out. And I'm not exactly sure the science behind it, but I know that lithiums are not supposed to get cold. Like that. Do not disassemble without permission. Okay? Got a little menu right here. Some connectors. There and there. This is our main breaker. I'm going to leave that off for the moment. Some inputs, some dip switches, reset button. We're not going to be able to do much with it until we get the panels installed. I just want to get it unboxed for right now. So we have 2 of these. It's the SG48 100P 51.2 volt 100 amp hour 5120 watt hour rack mount battery bank, and this is part of a system. It came with really heavy duty cabling, and I think these are the connectors that probably bridge the system together. They're probably all connected through this input output right there. And let's get into the user manual real quick. Maximum continuous discharge current 100 amps, standard charging current 50 amps, maximum continuous charge current 100 amps, maximum cutoff voltage for charging 57.6 volts. Current cutoff, there's a lot of stats here. See anything else that stands out here? Battery charging 0 to 45, that would be 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like the temperature range in which you can safely charge these. The discharging again would be a little bit more flexible, but yeah, those are the temperatures which it can safely operate. And the storage ambient temperature is -10 Celsius. That would be 14 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't think we got lower than that while these battery packs were out in the shipping container. So, okay, this is a lot of technical information that we're not going to dive into all of this, but I'll dive into some of this as we're installing it. All-in-one solar charger inverter. This is basically the brains of the operation here. Came with, what do they call it, a serial cable? Some wiring. Another cat. Speaking of cats, who's this little gremlin? What are you doing over here, huh? What do you think about this? How cold it is outside. Yeah. Nala. You good bean. Now she gets 5 more boxes to play with. These are ports for all the wiring, I'm sure. In and outs, Wi-Fi, USB, RS485, parallel connectors. Little touchscreen panel there. Again, this is going to be filled with lots of technical information and setup information that we're going to go through more in depth when we actually do the install. So this is kind of your standard setup you'd have here. Rated input voltage 110, 120 volt AC. Rated output voltage 120 volt AC. Loaded motor capability 4 horsepower. So I think that means it can start a 4 horsepower motor. We have a starter capacitor on motors. It might be referring to that. Okay, so that's it. Anyways, we're going to dive into a lot of this when we actually get this installed, but for now, we're just kind of doing an initial unboxing. So, what do you think about this, Nala? Excited? Excited to go off grid? Do you approve? Do you approve of SunGold power? That's what I thought. Okay. right, so the reason we're emptying the container is because in the middle of all this juggle, we're gonna try to move the container because I need to get my workshop set up. We need a better jack. Let's get a different jack. I just dragged the shipping container about a quarter mile through the woods in a road that I built. I'm so freaking dirty right now. I'm like filthy. That was so much dust and so much log lifting and so much crap moving. Oh my God, we did it. So I'm gonna go and wash all the dirt off my body. I'm driving out of the woods right now and I'm gonna get on the highway and go home. Alright, so we really have to get the solar panels out of here in the box, so they're my freaking way! I can't do anything with them right there. They need to go outside, and we need to install them on the roof to collect power! Alright, so these are mono solar modules, model number SG415. These are 415 watt solar panels. There's 2 per package. There's 3 packages here. It's got 6 panels. And the world's dullest razor blade. Model type SG415WM. Peak power 415, 20 pounds each. Maximum system voltage 1500. And there is nowhere in here to move around yet. We're gonna hook up the electrical and everything on a day where it's not raining. Of these, I put one in the corner already. We've got our cables, power cabling, accessories. I scored a bunch of free landscaping pavers off Facebook. So I'm gonna put in a little walkway here, or like a little patio thing right here, just an entrance way. So today I'm going to prepare and paint this shipping container roof. I guess it's called a roof. The roof of the shipping container with elastomeric white paint. I'll show it to you in a minute, but first we're going to clean it. We're going to look for any spots of rust or damage that we might need to repair. I think this thing is pretty much leak proof at the moment. There is a little bit of a dent inward over here I might have to press out, but we're going to sweep it off, get it ready to paint, and then we're going to roll paint on it. All right, so now that it's swept off, I'm gonna go get a bucket of creek water and mop this sucker. This right here was the dent I was talking about. It's pretty big, and I'm afraid that water is going to pool there. So might have to go inside and use a jack and press that out or hammer it out somehow.
So while that is dwelling, we're gonna actually take this down and start washing the sides as well, because we need to paint the sides. Just on time. Oh, it's starting to pour. It's gonna get clean. Not like that, but we got popcorn in them. This is the Rolling Dog Elite Performance kit. It's called the Molasses 20-piece kit, number 7294. They also sent me an extended handle. It's called the Quickfire Premium Extension Pull. This is a giant professional paint bucket, but that's kind of a shallower one, and then there's a deeper bucket here. They sent over a nice wide 9-inch, I think it is, staining brush. That is a super nice brush. These are paint tray liners and paint bucket liners. So this is the paint tray and this is the paint bucket. I think depending on your use case, you can either use like the full depth of the bucket or just the paint tray. I'm probably just gonna use the paint tray. And then another extension pull. I think this is an 18-inch brush is what it's set to. Yeah, I can see it actually has like an adjustable, but there are adjustable marks right here, and it's set to 18 right now. You can see right there as well. It's set to 18. This thing can hold different size rollers. So they gave me 2 of those 18-inch rollers. That's really nice. And then also small roller kit as well with the kind of handheld rollers. Those will really come in useful. They also send over a 3-piece soft paintbrush kit. This will be really useful for getting around the edges and the corners that I can't get with a roller. And a roller cleaning brush. And I think you clean your brushes with that as well. I think what you do is you scrape the paint off when you're done. I've never had a professional painting kit. I don't know what I'm doing. This kit is for professional like house painter. We're gonna use it today to paint the shipping container though. If you look in the description of this video, there'll be a link to this if you wanna get this kit yourself. All right, let's get this all over to the container. So I let the people on my Facebook page decide what color. I gave them 4 choices and they selected this color. It is called Cypress Garden. It is that green color. I also did a test spot right on the container right there, and it turned out great. So there are a couple spots that I'm gonna wire wheel off for. Crossed first. I'm only doing one side for now because I've got a plan to mount the solar panels on top, but they're slightly hanging off. I need to mount into that tube beam right here. I need to mount into that. So I wanted that painted before I mounted anything, and it would be a lot harder to paint this with solar panels mounted on there. So one tip I can give you, if you ever use something like this, I took the tray liner out and I actually wrapped the roller in the tray liner, because if you do this and you keep it wet, you can reuse that roller. Just take the tray liner out and roll it up around this. It has elastic, you can tuck it in and roll it up, and then when you're ready to go, just unroll that tray liner right back into the tray, and then your wet roll is right here, ready to paint again. It's not gonna last forever, but it'll last for a couple days until I get everything finished. So this is what we're painting the roof with. It's supposed to, create kind of like a weatherproofing coating, and it's white, so it's reflecting a lot of the sunlight. Shipping containers act like ovens in the heat, so hopefully this is going to cut down the heat during the summer a lot. That's the first coat. All right, so it's the next day, and I put 2 more coats on throughout the day, and that's what it looks like. A lot better, a lot more uniformly covered. And I'm not sure how many more coats we're going to do, because I bought 5 gallons thinking that it was going to take all 5 gallons, but I've got a nice coat there. I might just do 1 or 2 more coats tomorrow and call it good. Unfortunately, I thought the paint I had bought had primer in it, and it doesn't. You can see rust bloom in the spots that I wire wheeled out and painted over. And it's basically on all of them. I do have a little bit of red coming down. That was the paint color that I had rinsed off the top, which is fine. I can paint right over that. That's gonna go away, no problem. And it won't come back because I've already painted the red over the top. So anyways, I'm gonna have to go through and sand these back down. I got a can of rust reformer. So I'm just gonna go where any spot that there is bloom, I'm gonna wire wheel it back off and hit it with the rust reformer, and then go paint over the whole thing with 1 more coat of the green. All right, so we're gonna be making some frames for these solar panels, all from the rough lumber that we cut last fall, or last summer. And it looks something like that. It's gonna look more like something like this, if you can understand any of this scrawlings. You'll see when it'll make sense when I build them. So that's the basic idea of it. Make 4 of these. I might put in a support section here so it doesn't get all roly-poly like this. All right, so I've got this little like framing tie. That's what basically I'm going to use to tie both ends of this to the shipping container. So I'm going to go to this end right here and basically get it flush with this side, attach it, and then that will be my anchoring point. And then I'll know how far on this end because it'll overhang, and then I'll just put the next bracket right up to it, snug it up, lock it in. Actually, it's So each panel comes pre-packaged with the installation brackets pre-organized with the bolts and the installation screws. So that's good. Got 6 baggies of those. We're gonna get the brackets installed on the actual panels, and then we're gonna get them on the roof. This is pretty self-explanatory. The panel itself has holes all the way around for mounting, however you want to mount it. We're gonna mount them horizontally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna put one in this corner, on that corner, that corner, and that corner. They go in basically with the ears of the bracket on the outside, just like that. There's only really one way these things can go in. And then the bolt goes through the slotted hole here, and it goes through that hole, essentially. And then on the back, there is, I'm not sure if you can see these, but you've got a washer, a crush washer, and a nut. And then that's it. And you do that 4 times for each panel, and then you're ready to install them. Where the panels meet horizontally in the center, we're actually gonna overlap these brackets. An example of that would be this. So when we lay them up, they'll be like that. So we're gonna get all these installed.
Got it? Yes. Now watch the ears as you're pulling up over that.
Yep, I'm just gonna hold it. It's like impressively rigid. You can't shake it anywhere.
No,
it doesn't shake at all. I also picked up these little solar lights. I think they're for like steps. You put them on the steps of your, going up to your deck or something. Have a solar panel on the top. Imagine my hand is the stair tread. It just links on right there. Just some screws. Got them at Menards. I'm actually gonna put them angled just like this on the toe of every one of those braces, so that'll have some light pointing right down to the ground here at night. Just a little walkway. We've got 6 415 watt solar panels provided by SunGold. This is part of a kit, and all the details of this kit are going to be in the description of the video. Tomorrow we're going to wire this whole thing up, get the batteries going, and start testing it. Alright, so now we're going to get up there. We're going to wire all of these in series. That's what the instructions call out for. I'll put those on the screen now, and we're basically going to run out the back corner, and then there is this vent right here that we're going to be running the wiring through. So this is going to be the front of our series then, right?
Oh yeah, so that's the positive out. Well, I mean, we set it up either way. So basically what's going to happen is this guy is going to connect to that guy.
Okay. Alright, this one's ready to go. You can even...
That's how it stays weatherproof.
Nice.
Flip it in. And then we're going to run that to the positive of that.
Right.
Here, yeah, I can actually see the holes and the light.
Okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's through. I got it.
Okay. All right, so we have both of our lines coming through the existing vent hole, and this is going to be temporary. I'm just going to loop them around that little attachment point. We got good.
Got it.
All right.
We should just be able to hook right up. 10 AWG, we have that.
So we got our parallel connection here, which we're not going to use, and then I'm pretty sure that this is all battery communication. We've got our AC in. This would be generator. We're going to wire in the generator so we have a backup generator. And then AC out is going to be our main power source into our outlets or our breaker box. And then this is the PV plus PV minus is our solar panels in and out. And this right here, battery plus and minus, is our batteries in and out. So these are the cables that came with the kit. We don't need both ends. We only need one end to connect to the series. So we're gonna cut the end off that we need corresponding to the in and out of the system. Give ourselves about a foot, and we're gonna put the other end into the voltage in on the inverter itself. Now you just plug one into the other, right? And we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can leave all the battery cables as long as they are. You need to go from RS 485 right here, and then this goes all the way to RS 485A right there, and then from this point RS 485B goes to RS 485C, and then for your top battery, the A up here, whatever this A to B battery, the top one, you want to have the dip switch set to 1. And then on down here, you have the dip switch set to 2. So now we're going to check the voltage coming off the panels before we plug this in.
203.
203. All right, so we're in operational range. So always positive first.
Just.
Oh, we're getting 203 volts.
Yeah, look at that.
And we got fan. Okay, so we need to reset these now.
Okay.
You hold reset on both of these, turn it on, and then you flip your breakers on, and then you turn that little switch on. And then, is that in the video? I don't know, flip it.
It may just be the AC line out.
Yeah.
Or in.
So we got
So 52 volts are going to
the batteries.
Nothing's being used by the house. And nothing's coming in AC line.
Okay.
That's what all those are.
Status, charge. Pack voltage, 52.75. Alright, so we do have... I think this screen should just turn off eventually. I think that's as far as it goes back on the menu. We have electricity. We should go and...
get an outlet.
Go get an outlet, yeah. So that's going to be it for this video. We're going to tidy this whole thing up and begin testing it in the next video. See you in the next one.